What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So we're going to do a stimulus package, stimulus check update, and I have a few things to talk about today. So we're going to talk about California. So California, this just happened 30 minutes ago. There's talk now of a stay-at-home order being put in place in Southern California. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about Andrew Yang. So he tweeted yesterday and about the stimulus checks. So we want to talk about that. Bernie Sanders, we're going to take a look at a clip from Bernie Sanders talking about stimulus checks. And then the last thing I want to talk about. Now, this is one of those situations where we're coming to the end of the year or the beginning of 2021. And when it comes to stimulus checks, this can easily get done. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I think it can easily get done and how it can get bipartisan support. So we'll talk about that. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so the first topic we're going to talk about today is California. So California is looking at a stay-at-home order, and it looks like it's going to happen. It's going to start tomorrow, Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And the reason that this is going to happen is because the ICU beds in this region have dropped below 15%. And Gavin Newsom earlier this week said if it drops below 15%, that's going to trigger a stay-at-home order. So we don't know exactly how long the stay-at-home order is going to be, but we do know that we're most likely going to see it. It's going to start on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So if you have things to take care of it today, because tomorrow things are going to really slow down. Now, if you're an essential worker, you're still going to be out there working and doing things. But when it comes down to the average person that's not an essential worker, they're going to expect that you limit the time that you spend outside of your house. So that's some news that's coming out of California. Okay, next story we want to talk about is Andrew Yang. So we're seeing Andrew Yang and Bernie Sanders. They've stepped up. And I talked yesterday. I did a live stream yesterday. You can check it out right here. But I was talking about AOC, was talking about stimulus checks. So now we're seeing more and more politicians talking about stimulus checks. And Andrew Yang, he is not in Congress or anything like that, but he did run for president. And that's pretty much where a lot of people know him from. But he did put out this tweet. So Andrew Yang says, if you're going to spend hundreds of billions of pandemic relief, the most effective thing you can do is put it into people's hands in the form of hashtag stimulus checks now. It's common sense, better economics, and better politics. So that is Andrew Yang there talking about stimulus checks. And if you guys have seen my last two videos, or the last live stream and the video right before that, I was just talking about how disappointed I am in politicians right now, because it's almost like they have amnesia about the whole stimulus check thing. You have all these politicians saying, yes, we want direct payments for the American people. And now all of a sudden we have this $908 billion proposal without stimulus checks. And you're seeing these politicians jumping on board and saying, oh, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a good framework. Or they're even talking about this is it. This is a good package to go with as is. So that's very troubling when it comes to people like me and you that have been following this thing for 7 months. And we've seen that stimulus checks have been in every step of the way. Every proposal that we've seen, except for the skinny bill proposal, we've seen stimulus checks. But now, all of a sudden, we're not seeing it anymore. And it's one of those deals where you have to stay on them. So I like that hashtag stimulus checks now, because we need to start a movement so these politicians realize, hey, you can take some stuff out if you want, but don't take out stimulus checks. Okay, so the next story I want to talk about is Bernie Sanders. He's also saying we need stimulus checks. So let's go ahead and take a look and a listen here.
Joining me now is the independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. Senator, good to see you again. I am worried about this because I'm going around the country every week talking to small businesses and workers, and they're very, while I'm very excited that we'll have a vaccine out soon, these folks don't have 6 months of money to keep their businesses afloat or to stay in their apartments or to not be kicked out of their homes. They're finding themselves in food lines and food insecure. We need direct payments.
Absolutely, we need direct payments. Let us be clear. What we have right now are people suffering in a way economically that we have not seen since the Great Depression. Hunger is at an all-time high in recent years. You have tens of thousands of people facing eviction. You got over 90 million people who are uninsured or underinsured. And what the American people want, they understand that in the midst of this crisis, through no fault of their own, because of their pandemic, the economy is in shambles. And they are asking the United States Congress to help them. At the very least, what we should be doing is continuing that $1,200 payment to every working class adult in this country, plus $500 for their children.
All right, so there's Bernie Sanders saying the same thing. We need stimulus checks. Now, like I said, I'm just amazed at how politicians, it's not in this new proposal. It's not in Mitch McConnell's proposal. So we have Mitch McConnell's proposal, and then we have this $908 billion proposal. Those are the two that have been talked about now. So we're going to have to see what happens this coming week to see where this stuff goes. But it is really amazing to me that politicians are not pushing harder for this. I just don't understand why they're not pushing harder for this. So maybe we will see more politicians step up and say, hey, you know what? We do need this. So if it means this proposal needs to be 1.2 trillion, then make it 1.2 trillion. Add that 300 billion. That way we can get stimulus checks for the American people. Now, I want to talk about this because this is another thing, and it came up on our live stream yesterday where someone was asking about taxes and our stimulus checks taxed. Well, stimulus checks, it's a tax credit. And all they did was front this tax credit. So it's a 2020 tax credit that they sent it out to us early. So after I answered that question, I started thinking about things. Well, you know what? We're almost into 2021. So why can't we just do that again? Why can't we because realistically, people are not going to receive stimulus checks until 2021. So why can't we 2021, advance another tax credit? Just continue that same tax credit, the same stimulus check tax credit, and another round of stimulus checks can go out to the American people. And it would just be advanced to us now, or I won't say now, but in 2021, it'll be advanced to us as soon as possible. And then it'll be the same tax credit, just like in 2020, you get the tax credit, but we got it advanced. Why can't we do the same thing? And so I'm hoping that politicians are talking about this because that makes sense. And that could get bipartisan support because they're looking at, okay, you know what? We did it for 2020. We can do it for 2021 as well. So we'll have to see how they think about this. And maybe this is a good way for them to put stimulus checks in there. Even if they don't put it in this proposal right now and they go ahead and vote on it, it could be a part of, okay, you know what? We're going to vote on this bill, but 2021, January 2nd, 2021, this is going to be implemented. We're going to fast track and advance this stimulus check for 2021. So we'll have to see where this goes, but we need to follow it closely. And that hashtag, check that hashtag out. Let me put it up here so you guys can see it. But hashtag stimulus checks now. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. But I do have a question for you. What do you think about this? What do you think about it just advancing 2021 taxes? Give us a tax credit, advance it. It's a stimulus check. What do you think about that? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.